My purpose in life is so when I am on my deathbed, I can say, I know it's a long time from now, hopefully, but when I am there, I can say, I lived a successful life and I loved everything I did and I helped people and I made a difference in the world.
Awesome. Well, let's talk about, or have you explain to us what Animal Aid USA Pipeline and how high schools could sign up to start their own.
Yeah, we have a whole written thing here. So a school determines the response to a survey given to the students and wants to pursue an Animal Aid club, and the following steps are taken. Animal Aid mails out a starter kit that includes a copy of our documentary, Take Me Home. This is a 25-minute film that introduces students to what exists outside of their own bubble with shelter animals. And it was filmed in August of 2009. I was like in third grade at the time, and we went to Georgia, and it was at the time the largest rescue operation in the state of Georgia history. After that, a copy of our school play, written by Emmy-winning head writer of Days of Our Lives, Donna Swajewski, is provided to the students. This play can be performed by any school in any state. Step-by-step instruction kits are sent to establish spay and neuter, and that is one of the most important things, because what happens in shelters down everywhere to the animals is horrible, but we won't have to live with what happens to these shelter animals if we can start to spay and neuter our pets. And because there are I think it's 5 to 7 million dogs are killed in shelters per year. But if we implemented spay and neuter clinics and just spread the word to my generation to spay and neuter your pets, we can live in a world where that number of 5 to 7 million could be so much smaller, and it could just be a tiny, tiny little bit, and hopefully it could be zero. After the spay and neuter clinic thing, we can do step-by-step instructions on implementing a pet food bank to provide the struggling pet owners who can't afford to feed their animals. This prevents many pets from ending up being surrendered or in shelters. And also, my organization, Animal Aid USA, we go to Georgia monthly and we save dogs. And we go to shelters and pull dogs from the shelters. And the owners of or dogs and cats, the owners of the people in the shelters, they just have all these reasons on why the dogs are in there, and a big reason is they can't financially support the dog or the cat. And if the dog that is already in a loving home, if we help them get food for the dogs or cats, then hopefully it would stay in them. The owner would be able to keep them. And if a school is located within our corporate headquarters area, a personal visit of the founders of Animal Aid, myself, Prince Lorenzo Borghese, and my mom, Karen Talbot, could be set up. Programs implemented to help the school's local animal shelter get more homeless animals adopted. And we are available at any time for any questions from student and faculty may have. We also invite families to travel with us on one of our monthly trips from Jersey to Georgia, and this is a completely hands-on participation. And the trips to Georgia, I cannot say this enough. It is a life-changing experience. Like, just looking at the dogs and knowing you saved them, it is one of the best feelings you can possibly have. It's amazing.
So, is your corporate headquarters in New Jersey then?
Yes, it's the Jersey, like New York area, like it's northwest or northeast. Sorry.
And is there a reason why you have your trips down to Georgia as opposed to anywhere else?
Well, back in 2009, my mom and I decided that we wanted to change the history of shelter animals in one state, and we picked Georgia. And we went to a shelter in Chattooga, Georgia, and we completely emptied the entire shelter, that one caravan, and like we were hooked. And back to what Jarek said, or sorry if I mispronounced that, um, like how you guys were talking about the drugs and with children and all that. But addiction, when you hear that word, it's a negative thing, but it doesn't have to be. My mom and I are addicted to animal rescue, and that is perfectly fine. You don't have to be addicted to a bad thing. You can be addicted to something positive that changes the lives of, you can change the lives of people or animals or anything. And that's the world I want to live in, where addiction can have a positive connotation.
Fantastic. And when we look at funding for nonprofits, the typical nonprofit today sees over 70% of their budgets coming from individual donations, which really doesn't seem sustainable. What plans do you have to really help fund Animal Aid USA and create jobs for teens while you do this mission?
Well, in the beginning, we funded everything out of our own pocket. We were a little grassroots organization, and since then we have become nationally recognized, and we are lucky enough to receive grants and donations. And our goal is to one day we go to Georgia, like I said. Our goal is to one day have an Animal Aid USA satellite division in every state, and it will hopefully offer grants to other organizations, and it will open career opportunities for the next generation.
And let's talk about you, because I know you said you're in high school now. So what do you plan on studying when you go to college?
I plan on hopefully getting a master's degree in nonprofit management. That way, when my mom decides it's time, she's done enough with the animals. She's never going to stop, but when she's 80 years old, she's not going to be able to be going to Georgia. She's going to pass the torch on to me, and I can hopefully run the organization as well, if not better than she did. And I just want to spread the word across the nation about this.
Have you looked at any particular schools that have your interest?
Yes. Well, my aunt lived in Chapel Hill for when I was like 5 or 6, and I made a couple of trips down there, and I've been in love with UNC since then, University of North Carolina, and I've wanted to go there since I was 5. I mean, people ask me what's your favorite sports teams, and it's like all Philly and then University of North Carolina, so it's like the oddball, but that's my number one choice since I was a 5th grader. You ask other 5th graders what they want to go to college for, and they're like, what's college, But I was always like UNC.
That's awesome. And, I'm sure that, Animal Aid USA is keeping you very busy after school, but are you involved in any other activities? And if so, which ones? How do you really manage your time with everything that you're involved with?
Well, I have a priority system. And, after school, I'm just starting track and field, baseball, and I play soccer. But family absolutely comes first. Number one thing, family comes first. And a very, very close second, I would also say it's first, but it would be tied for first, is your education. Because you need to be educated. If you think, oh, I'm not going to study tonight, I want to go see this new movie with my friends, when that made the difference of you going to a good college or working at McDonald's when you're older, you'll look back at that and say, why did I choose the movies? Or why did I put hanging out with my friends first? I absolutely focused on grades first, and if you focus on your grades, you have plenty of time to hang out with your friends and plenty of time for sports. And one of my things is I don't play video games. I don't like them. I just never got into them. But I love movies. I don't know. I just love movies.
And do you find that obviously your mom's involved in with Animal Aid USA? Does that help your efforts there, or would you be just as passionate if your parents and your family wasn't as involved?
Yeah, I would like. First off, I would have needed to have been on board because if somebody else would have run Animal Aid USA, my mom had no involvement in it, but yet we still went to Georgia, I would absolutely 100% still want to be a part of this because I can't stress this enough. And I've been at the people watching this in the high schools. I've been in your situation where you're excited to watch this on the screen because you get out of class, but you don't pay attention to it. But 100%, going to Georgia is amazing. It is life-changing. I can't stress that enough. You will come from Georgia just like shocked. You'll be like, "Whoa, that was cool," you know? And that absolutely, I would, it's a good addiction. I am addicted to saving animals, and I would be addicted to saving animals if my mom wasn't the head of it.
And where do you see yourself in 10 years?
Well, God willing, hopefully not running Animal Aid, because I hope my mom will still be running Animal Aid, but I will be able to help out a lot more when I'll be 24. I'll be able to drive to Georgia with them. I'll have an ID. I'll be a legal adult, and I can help them as an adult, not as the son of the founder. I can help them as an adult that goes with them, and I hope to see myself 10 years. Yeah, graduated college with a master's degree in business management, nonprofit business management, and that's to see myself. But hopefully, my mom will still be running it at the time, but I'll be on the brink of running it, hopefully.
That is so fantastic. And my last question for you, Matt, before we let you get back to school is, what are the most satisfying aspects of doing this kind of work for you?
Absolutely, 100%. When we load up to come home from Georgia, just seeing the dogs that you saved, the cats you saved, because those animals most likely would be dead if it was not for you. And if we went to Georgia and we saved one dog, we made a difference with one dog. Since we started going to Georgia, we've saved over 5,000 dogs and cats. And absolutely, the experience of seeing the animal saved it's the same experience every dog and cat. It does not get old. It never gets old. Every time you save an animal, it feels like it's your first time saving one.
Great. Well, I know you'll make a million new friends in your new high school.
Oh, thank you.
And they'll be passionate about dogs and cats and saving the world. So it's really exciting to kind of learn from you.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you so much, Matt. I really appreciate you being here and sharing your story. You're like such an inspiration. I think that's one of the things that I keep saying is I am so inspired by this generation that you're in. I keep hearing that everybody's entitled, and you just dispel that myth so greatly. So thank you so much for everything you do.
Yes, thank you for having me. I'm gonna probably get to class now. So
okay. Yeah. Thank you very much,
yeah,
man.
thank you. Have a nice day.
You too.